what works for me, what helps me center myself in the work that I do, is that it's my job to put my best self forward for my client. I'm a whole person. I'm a real guy. I got my faults. And at the best of my ability, to leave those at the door, so that my most honest, my most good self, my most selfless self is showing up. That's my job. And that is the client's job to try and do the same. And more than that, it's not enough for me to do that alone. That whatever I'm doing, I have to try and bring out in you, the client, your best self. So therapy fundamentally is a relationship, and it's almost kind of like hopefully it can become an ideal model of what it means to relate to another person, that both people are able to put their best selves forward and create something good and something beautiful, something they can take outside the therapeutic context into their real life. The second part of therapy, I feel that's important, is that it's my job to be as non-judgmental as I can be. Every person's context, every person's life is different. Every person's challenge is different. I mean, our personalities are different. That stuff is measurable. We are all not the same. And just because I see something a certain way doesn't mean that is quote unquote true. So having that flexibility on my end, that's key. But for that to work, for the therapist being non-judgmental, being flexible, to cash in on those resources, well, the client has to be honest. And that's tough too. Coming into a room, especially if you're first starting out with a stranger, some guy with a degree, in many ways, that's scary. Is he a judge? Is he, what's he going to think of me? And it can be really hard to be honest. But that is the key to emotional well-being, is honesty. And so again, kind of summing up my work, what does it mean to be a therapist? It means to be someone who can be open to honesty. It's someone who can not judge and be critical, while at the same time offering real wisdom and real help to the client in filling in the gaps or providing different perspectives, unlocking personal secrets that the client knows are there, and you don't need to have some guy tell you what your problems are, but being able to verbalize them, get in touch with them, to articulate them. Well, that's the key to health, is that sense of life that comes with each session. Well, that is the key to well-being. And to be able to do that in such a way where one's best self is, as the therapist, present, and that best self in the therapist is beckoning, is inviting the best self of the client. Doing therapy is a privilege. It's not just for the client, but it's a beautiful thing for the therapist as well.